Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Weston Boucher. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, click that subscribe button as I'm going to have new videos each and every week for you guys. Today I'm going to talk about 5 tips that are going to help to grow your Instagram account, why you should care in the first place, and how to get real followers and real engagement right now. Okay, so first off, why should you care? I mean, it seems like Instagram is just this social media thing that came along and we just upload pictures and kind of just see a highlight reel of people's lives. Well, it's not the case anymore as it stands now. This is where everyone's eyes are in terms of platforms out there. It's not TV, it's not radio, and it pretty much beats out almost every other social media platform that's out there, and people are on their phones, on Instagram, more than anything else at the moment. So with that said, you have to think, if you're a public figure, a small business, a model like myself, or you have a message that you want to preach or spread the word about out there, like a cause, this is the place or you should look at Instagram as a tool and a place for you to spread that message, bring that value, connect with those people that might be interested in what you or your business or product or whatever your message is all about. I kind of wanted to throw in that disclaimer before I started the list because it's not just about some sort of popularity contest or using Instagram for exactly what it was designed for. It's just realizing at this point that it's evolved and it's become this huge vehicle again for you to let people know what it is that you do, and I'm going to talk about how you can make that the most effective with your time, and again how to get that follower count up, but not with fake followers and not with fake engagement. So here we go. Okay, so if you can't absorb everything I'm about to break down in this video, the good news is this is pulled from a free, no strings attached PDF download, my e-guide called Top 10 Instagram Growth Tips for Models, Public Figures, and Influencers. And like I said, it does apply to small businesses as well. So the download link is going to be in the description, and that's going to be 10 tips that are even more in depth. These are just going to be 5 that I felt were really great to mention in a YouTube video format, and you can dive in more at the link below. All right, number 1, first impressions. Instagram is like your virtual business card, kind of like your avatar in our current culture almost. So think of it as a way for you to summarize everything that you do and either creatively or professionally or both present that in a really quick and concise way, because the thing is that people land on your page and within a millisecond they make conscious or subconscious judgments on whether or not they're going to hit that follow button. So you have to make sure that you're putting in the time and not being lazy about the aesthetic of your account, that the content when they land there is all relevant to what you are about, and that the story highlights and the information that's in the bio is all on point, it's concise, and it lets people know, again, what it is that you do and what your credibility, your authority in that industry, or what your message is all about. The reason this is so important is because Instagram is what people go to first now. They don't ask for a business card as much. They're not going to browse around on your website just as much, even though you spent thousands of dollars maybe and so much time. Because Instagram is more now where your body of work, so to speak, is going to be even more than a site. So it's kind of interesting that it's gone that way, but it is what it is. So think of it that way, and maybe you'll create more positive associations to it when you realize the power of it this day and age for your marketing and advertising, and again, the message you want to get out to connect to people. So yeah, this is basically where you want to put everything in terms of maybe you have a slogan, maybe you have something that kind of encompasses what you're about. You have your bio link that you want to utilize to send people to something where they can find out more information or join a mailing list, for example, download a free product to get more mailing list subscribers, or you use your story highlights to have subcategories of what it is that you or your business or your cause does in that format as well. And mention anything like your credentials again, or representation that you might have. This is all again like an online resume to some degree, LinkedIn sort of, but in a social media format. That's how I look at it, at least, because now Instagram is offering business accounts, and those are going to be really useful because they offer insights so you can see your demographic and all that stuff. So what I'm saying is, you know, think of Instagram more so as a business and as how an advertiser might see it, but stay true to your core at the same time. So I'm going to get to that in a minute on the next tip or so. Okay, number 2, keep the main thing the main thing. What I mean by that is when people land on your page or they begin following you, you need to stick with what it is that you do. I don't know how many times I've seen Instagram accounts where it's a really big company even, and you go from post to post, or even the things that are mentioned in their bio or their stories, there's just a lot of stuff in there that's diluting the main thing. It's not, their content needs to stay on point to what it is that their brand or message is. Or if you're a public influencer or whatever, you need to remember what it is that you're known for and what people are following you for, because you're diluting it down and your audience is going to lose interest and they're not going to get engaged on certain posts and stories, and that's just going to keep making your engagement go down and less followers noticing your posts to begin with. Yeah, so know your message, know your mission statement and what it is that you're trying to get out there, and then think about that as, you know, you do every post or every story and how it needs to connect, solve a problem for someone, inspire someone, motivate someone, or offer some sort of relevant information and value that ties directly back to what it is your account's about. Don't veer off course too much. This is like one of the number one things I notice that accounts that don't do well. It's just too much of a hodgepodge of content. If you do a multitude of things, create separate accounts. That's what I did eventually. For example, I have my at Weston Boucher account, which is kind of my main one that's you know, revolves around my main profession as a model. So it's going to tie into that. And then I do a lot of health and fitness stuff too. So I created a fit account on Instagram as well, because I just realized between posts there was just too much fluctuation on the engagement, and I was diluting it by having too much about one or the other. And certain people just followed me because they wanted to see the things about the modeling industry or that type of stuff, and didn't really care what my workout was or what my diet was. So yeah, I know it seems like a lot to do that, but Instagram makes it easier now to quickly switch between accounts within the app without signing out. It's worth it. Take the time to do it if you are kind of someone who dabbles in other industries and you want to promote that too. All right, number 3, post more videos than still images. For whatever reason, video is really hot right now, and it's what you see. If you take notice in the feed, it's going to be almost 90% videos now over still images. I think that at this point, I'm just guessing that it's better for engagement because it's not so one-dimensional. Video is a little bit more stimulating when you scroll. It kind of keeps your attention a little more, and it also gives people a little bit more dimension, again, to who you are, what you do. You know, obviously music can be supplied in the background. You can create a lot out of a short video in terms of connecting and getting your message across than in a single still image sometimes. Not to take away from, you know, the power of photography, as I appreciate it very much in the industry I work in, but I will say that if you could probably focus a little bit more on your permanent posts being videos, it's going to help you tremendously. I'm like kicking myself for not doing more of it in the past and now. I've been spending more time with the YouTube stuff, so but I am planning to take that same approach to Instagram, as I've noticed that, you know, stories have become where, you know, the place where more people are spending their time than on the actual feed itself, and that tells me that people also like the multi-dimensional aspect of video. While I'm talking to camera, they get to hear my voice and my personality, or I'm on set and I'm, you know, showing a pan of everything. It's just way more engaging, in my opinion. So try to also, in addition to making videos part of your permanent post feed, really utilize stories. You know, they expire every 24 hours, so try to stay on top of that. And if you do have a business account, once you get over 10,000 followers, it gives you the ability to put a hyperlink, so you can use that to swipe up to, you know, send people to something maybe more in depth, or a product you might have, or a blog, whatever it may be, a YouTube video, a cause. You get the idea. Number 4, don't play the follower comparison game or buy followers. What do I mean by that? It can be really risky. There's a lot of companies out there, and they'll cater to big, small, any account in between, by sending you a DM or an email and say, you want to grow your Instagram account really quick? We have ways to get real followers and all that. I don't know anyone in my professional and personal network of friends and whatever that have ever benefited from that ultimately. What they do is they often use a bot, like software of some kind, that's going to try to engage for you, and ultimately you're taking a huge risk when you think about how much your business or whatever it is you do is surrounded and centered around Instagram. I think that because of that, you should not take the risk of your account being suspended or deleted if they flag anything and they notice a bot running. Or whatever it is they might be doing in the background with your account. Think about it security-wise too. You're putting in the hands of these people that you maybe have never met, your logins and all that, and they might claim to do something, but what if they're doing another? I just don't think it's worth it. At the end of the day, remember that it's your concentration and demographic and target of your followers that's the real value. You know, you look at accounts that are like 1 million plus or even 500K, and then, you know, maybe my main account's at 50K, but the truth is my engagement is way stronger than a majority of those accounts. Why? Because most of those are inflated with fake followers, or it's just a wash. It's too many demographics and it's not a concentrated audience. And what that means is that your engagement is also diluted too. So if you want to keep it where it's organic reach and you really feel like you're connecting with your core audience, you don't want to go that route. You want to stick with real engagement. Take the time to be interested in other accounts that would maybe tie into your industry or whatever it is you do, and be genuine about that. Be encouraging. Don't make it a popularity contest where you're just trying to get to the top and you'll do anything to get there. It just doesn't work that way. Real engagement works, so just stick with that and have integrity with your account, and it'll pay off in the long run, I assure you. Okay, number 5. Continue to consistently bring value to your audience. What do I mean by that is put yourself in their shoes. Don't just post to post. Like, think about how you can tie in something that you do, like I said, a message that you want to get out there, a product that you have that could solve a problem in their life, something to improve their quality of life, and always go back to that core of what your mission statement is, why it is you do what you do, and find a way to integrate that into each and every post and every story. Because even if it's from a business angle or whatever it is, if your core is true, that still means that there's some value there. So keep that in mind, because right now, the world we live in, people are starving for authenticity in a really disingenuous ocean of social media that just lacks substance. Is every post of mine perfect in that way? No, I don't always do it right, but I do make a conscious effort to try to have that impact in some way. Because believe it or not, Instagram, like money, is a tool. It can be used for good or bad or anything in between. So realize the power of that, and that you can impact people in a positive way with whatever it is you do, and it can end up being a win-win if it's gonna further your cause or grow your business. So yeah, it all comes back around. So make sure that the energy you're putting out there is genuine and good, and that you can stand behind it. Okay, so these were some somewhat basic tips, but I feel like they're foundational before you get to the meat and potatoes that's in the free e-guide that I mentioned. So be sure to download that, as it's going to be more in-depth in terms of specifics on how many hashtags you use, geolocating, doesn't matter, what times to post, and all these things that are are really relevant factors that you got to consider to get the follower count up and to get the engagement there. Again, with real followers and real engagement, those are the things that I tap into in the e-guide. So check out the link in the description below to grab that before you guys go. And I also wanted to make a big announcement, as I haven't done that yet on my YouTube channel. I have mentioned on Instagram, but I am starting a clothing line this year. It's already in the works. I'm gonna release it, I'm hoping before the end of this summer, 2019. It's probably gonna be, 3 to 4, even 5 pieces that I'm gonna release. And I just wanted to throw it out there so that you guys can at least connect and watch me, like, in terms of the process of it all, because I think it's pretty interesting. I thought you guys might be curious, since you do ask me about style tips and whatnot. And so to check that out, connect with my Instagram account I created for it. So it's my full name. That's the name of the line. It's Weston John Boucher. So that's going to pop up for Instagram, and then the website address is westonjohnboucher.com. And then that way you can go on there and join the email list, and I can let you know when the actual products are ready at launch and any of the launch specials, so you guys can get sales on it right out the gates. And I just so happen to be wearing one of my favorite pieces from it. So I've been working with manufacturers to design something that works for me all year long in many different occasions, that it's form-fitting, it's super comfortable, because I knew that, like, if I design it for me and my standards and what I want, I knew that you guys would probably love it too. So the goal of it is to kind of make being fashionable comfortable and accessible and not overpriced. The idea is to have a sophisticated look, but keep it really simple. I don't want things that are gonna be super trendy. So yeah, I'm not gonna get into it too much. I'm already probably said too much, but yeah, stay up to date on the Instagram page, because I've been posting videos of me going through the process of creating samples and a lot of the prototypes and everything. So maybe you find that interesting. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm gonna do some style tip videos that are related to some of the pieces I'm gonna release, because obviously, with the industry I'm in, with the modeling work and whatnot, I have to go, present myself professionally in front of casting directors all year and show up on set looking my best, always being camera ready. So because of that, over the years, I've kind of noticed that there's just certain things about clothing and menswear that's just almost there, but it's not quite. And that's like the problem I'm trying to solve for myself, which in turn will hopefully solve that for you guys too. And it's how style should feel. That's kind of my slogan. So anyways, if you lasted this long, I appreciate the attention. I appreciate all the awesome comments. I appreciate how many of you guys have subscribed. It means the world to me. I've been putting in as much time as I can each week to get new videos up, and the subscriber growth has just been crazy. So thank you for that. I'm super grateful. I'm always open to feedback, comments, and suggestions on future videos. I'll try to get you guys what you're after. But again, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time.